What's up, everybody? I'm Jeffrey Hessler. Welcome back to my channel. This is Jeff Hess on college football. If you didn't check out my last video, please go do so. We talked about the college football world and problems with NIL right now, what is going on, players being offered millions of dollars to transfer to schools, etc. With that being said, today we're going to be talking about huge commitment. Dylan Raiola for the Ohio State Buckeyes last night, nation's #1 player in the class of 2024, #1 quarterback in the class. We're going to break down Ryan Day's absolute terror of quarterbacks that he is on. So, that being said, let's hop right into it. The 6'3", 225-pound junior out of Chandler High School in Arizona chose the Buckeyes over Alabama, Georgia, Oregon, Texas, and USC. He was heavily favored to USC early in his recruitment. He is from Hawaii originally, close to home, makes sense. But last October, he came on a visit to the Buckeyes for the Penn State game. Really liked the atmosphere, he said. You could tell the culture as soon as he stepped in the building. Then he came back for the spring game this year to tell Ryan Day and Corey Dennis, quarterback's coach, that he would be committing to the Buckeyes, and he was 100% in. Dylan Raiola said, "It starts with the head man, Coach Day. I think what he does with quarterbacks is special. The way he molds a young man going into this world, that's a huge factor." And I want to touch on what Ryan Day is doing with quarterbacks right now. Now, you go back to 2018 with Dwayne Haskins. The choice to start Dwayne Haskins over Joe Burrow. Ultimately, was that his decision or Urban Meyer's? Who knows, but he was the quarterback coach. In one season, Dwayne Haskins went for 4,831 yards, 50 touchdowns, which was a Big Ten record, and 8 interceptions. Ended up the Heisman finalist and a first-round pick. Unbelievable numbers in one season. You go back to that decision, and it really sets up what is now a long line of quarterbacks that are just coming in for Ryan Day. You don't get Justin Fields without Dwayne Haskins. Those numbers are unbelievable, but you don't get Justin Fields without Dwayne Haskins. Justin Fields comes in 2 seasons at Ohio State, 1 season being a COVID season, so he only played 8 games, something like that, his second year. Threw for 5,373 yards in 2 seasons, 63 touchdowns, 9 interceptions while at Ohio State. Then you get guys like Kyle Mccord and C.J. Stroud. Kyle Mccord was a decently rated quarterback in high school, but C.J. Stroud, when Ohio State started recruiting him, was not a big-time prospect. Not a lot of schools were going after him. C.J. Stroud even said Ohio State was one of the first schools to reach out to the quarterback. Now, he ultimately ends up going to the Elite 11, turns into a pretty recruited prospect, but Buckeyes land him because they were one of the first schools to go out and look for C.J. Stroud. Ryan Day really went out on a limb at first going after C.J. Stroud, and now you see the development of C.J. Stroud. In just one season, throws for 4,435 yards, 44 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, ends up Heisman finalist. And Kyle McCord, who knows what he'll be able to do if he gets the chance to come in after C.J. Stroud. You got Devin Brown behind Kyle McCord. You still got to wait until 2024 to get Dylan Raiola, so those two guys could have a shot at playing, because it is presumed that C.J. Stroud will go to the draft after this year, which makes sense. He's a top 5 prospect in the draft. But you really think about it, man, and Ryan Day is just on a tear with these quarterbacks. The ability to find these guys, to recruit them, to get a relationship with them, and really develop them into not only a great player, but like Dylan Raiola said, a great young man. And that's huge. Dylan Raiola, a great kid. Dan Orlovsky, NFL analyst, even said, great player, even better person. And that's the type of guy that Ryan Day recruits. It's the type of guys that Ohio State wants to recruit. They want the brotherhood. They want that culture in there that, it's a family feeling. And you see that with a lot of these recruits that are committing. They talk about why they committed to Ohio State, the relationship with the coaches, the family feeling of the atmosphere all around. And not only do you see these quarterbacks, but you see these top receivers. You see guys like Garrett Wilson. You see guys like Jackson Smith-Njigba. You see guys like Emeka Egbuka, Julian Fleming, Marvin Harrison, Chris Olave. List goes on and on. And Dylan Raiola even said, I seen him say, you get these top talent receivers, you get these top talent offensive linemen, you get the top talent running backs, and it just makes your job tremendously easier as a quarterback. Not taking anything away from any of these quarterbacks, but I mean, Justin Fields had Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Jamison Williams, Trey Sermon, J.K. Dobbins. Had a great offense, great offensive line. C.J. Stroud's got Jackson Smith-Njigba, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Trayvon Henderson. it makes your job easier as a quarterback. And, you know, the offensive side of the ball for the Buckeyes, man, they are just on a tear. Now, the defense needs to come along a little bit more. We've talked about that in past videos. But the recruitment for the offensive side, even the defense side, we're not going to touch on that. But the offensive side, unbelievable. Trayvon Henderson, #1 running back in the nation. Emeka Egbuka, #1 wide receiver in the nation. Julian Fleming, #1 wide receiver in the nation. Garrett Wilson, #1 wide receiver in the nation. List just goes on, man. And now you get, a couple years ago, you get Quinn Ewers. I know he transferred, but he was the #1 player in the nation. Ryan Day gets the #1 quarterback in the nation. Justin Fields was the #2 quarterback in the nation coming out of high school. CJ Stroud, like I said, was not a highly touted recruit, but the ability to go out, find CJ Stroud as not a highly touted recruit, believing in CJ Stroud, not only to now be your starting quarterback and one of the best quarterbacks returning, if not the best returning quarterback in the country, it just speaks volumes for Ryan Day. And I think Ohio State is going to continue to do this year after year. A lot of guys are going to want to come play in this offense. A lot of guys. And why not? You see what Garrett Wilson was able to do. You see what Chris Olave was able to do. You see Jackson Smith and Jigba, who don't even have to play next year, and he's a first-round pick. Same with C.J. Stroud, first-round pick. Trayvon Henderson, arguably one of the best running backs in college football, coming back next year. We'll see how he pans out. But then you got guys like Emeka Egbuka. You got guys like Julian Fleming. You got guys like Marvin Harrison. When those guys got their first opportunity to step up, Marvin Harrison goes for 3 touchdowns in a game. Julian Fleming was dealing with some injury issues last year, so he didn't get too much shine in the bowl game. But even Emeka Egbuka showed flashes all year on returns, making a couple catches here and there. And they all flashed in the spring game, except for Julian Fleming, had another injury. But said this is one of the most healthy off seasons he's had. Feels good. Brian Hartline he has seen the improvement. This has been his best spring so far. Seen the improvement, like the way he's developing. Sorry, I got my words mixed up there. But why not play offense in this Buckeye offense? Like I said, Dwayne Haskins, rest in peace, first-round pick. Justin Fields, first-round pick. C.J. Stroud, without a doubt. I won't say without a doubt. Most likely a first-round pick. All 3 of those guys ended up in New York at the end of the season. But Ryan Day, keep doing what you're doing, man. This is unbelievable for Ohio State. Huge piece to get in the 2024 class. To get a commitment this early is huge. You can start to build around your 2024 class. You get your receivers, so on. And this guy's going to recruit for you, because you see that with a lot of these recruits. They commit, they go recruit for you. They help you recruit because they want to be great. So even the class of 2023, you got guys like Carnell Tate and Brandon Ennis who are going to have the opportunity to play with Dylan Raiola, 2 of the top receivers in the country. So this is huge for the Buckeyes. Huge for the 2024 class, even the 2023 class. This can start to pick up momentum in recruiting for Ohio State now. We'll see where both classes end up, but I think it'll be at least top 5. I mean, that's normal when it comes to Ohio State nowadays. Wouldn't be surprised if it's top 3. Maybe they could sneak a #1 class in there, but these offenses for Ohio State these last few years, you look at it, Justin Fields, the year Ohio State lost 2019, amazing offense. The year after that, COVID season, amazing offense. Last season, amazing offense. Why not play offense in this system? It's going to attract a lot of these high school kids. It's going to attract a lot of the top talent. So, with that being said, you guys leave a like on this video if you liked the video. Subscribe if you're new. If you have any suggestions you want me to talk about, leave in the comment section. With that being said,